Hello and welcome to Rule of Carnage, a series of conversations that Glenn and I have about designing better miniature games. This is going to be our second attempt at filming a battle report, again of Torch and Shield, the lovely dungeon-delving dwarf-on-dwarf action from Grimskald. And we're going to give it another go. We had a first attempt a couple of weeks ago and there were some technology issues, but I've got all kinds of new camera setups here. So let's see how it goes. All right, on with the battle report.
So we're playing another game of Torch and Shield. We're playing a slightly later scenario this time. Still one of the quick scenarios, because I don't think we're up to the advanced ones yet.
No.
But this is going to be Gold Rush. So in this scenario, there's plenty of loot around to be claimed, and it's claiming said loot that's going to essentially win the game. So we've got a couple of treasure chests here, which if controlled, they get you 2 points. If you get them back to your entrance point, they get you 4.
Okay.
We've got some braziers. If you light a brazier, that gets you a point. And this table and this treasure weapon rack are being like little treasure tokens. They're worth a couple of points if you're holding them into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And in the centre there's a treasure pile represented by this chest, and you'll get 6 points if you're controlling that treasure pile at the end of the game. We'll say it'll be the 4 central squares that counts as. All the white lines are walls apart from these central white lines, which I'm ignoring. I've got some broken columns to block line of sight.
So there's a few more rooms with obscured doors and line of sight here, so it looks like the torches are going to be more important, and there's no central braziers.
Yes, there's no central braziers, so light is going to be more important, which hopefully should be a bit, making it a bit more interesting. So in relation to light, first thing, we roll a big dice to be the fuel level for the torches for this game. It's got a fuel level of 4, so the torches will burn for at least 4 turns before they start going out, and we've got the turn counter over here as well. So the one thing I didn't grab is a coin, and I've just checked my pockets and I don't have one. I've got a coin to...
Oddly enough, there is one on the floor here. We will use this tiny floor coin.
Okay. Do you want to flip the floor coin and call it to see who's going to be first player?
Her Majesty or Tails?
I'll have heads, please.
It is heads.
Okay, so I am being first player. So keep that around because that'll be our first player marker.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Here, have the Queen's head.
Lovely. And I'll start by deploying my weapon Thane.
Shall we quickly just whip through our crews for the benefit of those at home?
Okay, so I've got a weapon Thane, who's my sort of close combat specialist. He's a character that he's a loner, so he doesn't lead the crew. My leader's going to be my Grey Shield, so he's the leader, not quite as much of a combat specialist, but pretty fair in his own right. I've got a Shield Thane, who's got some special defensive abilities. The Siege Thane, who's got his crossbow that he can use to support other warriors, and he's got one of my lanterns. And my Clansman, who's got a little spear, and he's got a second lantern. I'm playing the Iron Thanes, who are a sort of more martial clan, and they've got the rule shield wall, so that they're all if they're a bunch of shields together, they can lock shields, so they can't be pushed back. And once per game, they can do their Mountain Breaker ability to drive back all enemies in contact.
Cool. And then, which one of mine has a lantern? This one clearly has a lantern.
Yep, he's got a lantern, and then the engineer has got fire bolts, which don't count as lantern, he's carrying them, but he can fire them and sort of lodge them into a wall to make a couple of torches, or he can fire at people to set them on fire. So he's got a couple of options. It takes an action to activate it, but...
Okay, so I'm going to start by deploying my Grey Shield, who's my leader, with a sword and the lavish display of gold, which means you have to nerve test to engage him.
You've
got to go first.
Since I am the fated one, I'll put down my weapon Thane at the front, because he's my fighty guy.
Okay, do you want to deploy one?
Yep, and my Grey Shield, being also quite fighty, is going to be leading from the front with him.
This is my Knight of the Crown, which is a dwarf warrior with a shield and a really big pick.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go out front to defend Everyone's honour.
And I'll have my shield thane behind, although he's quite defensive. I'll have him at the back a little bit.
This guy is a dwarf clansman with a shield and a spear, so he'll go there. And remind me, shields you can make a sort of shooting attack equivalent from 2 or 3 squares away?
Spears.
Yeah.
Spears can sort of do a little stabby stab from a couple of squares rather than fighting and engaging.
Lovely.
My lantern wielding, spear carrying clansman is going to go back there.
Yep, my firebolt engineer is going there.
And my siege thane is going to go at the back with his crossbow, ready to offer support.
Cool, and this chap at the back is a gun thane. He's got 2 pistols, which will bring up the rear. Okay, so the last game there was a lot of combat and bashing into each other. Here, there's points on the table that we've got to run in, grab, and get out with, but holding that central thing is going to be a potential late game brawl.
Well, yeah, with it representing 6 points in the centre there, I think there'd be a bit of battling over. And it'd be interesting because the last game we played had central braziers, so the light didn't really kick in. Whereas in this one it might sort of be more significant, which I'm interested in. So first of all we draw 6 cards, 1 for each dwarf and 1 for your leader. 2, 3,
whilst he's alive.
Whilst he's alive. And then we'll count down from aces high. So, has anyone got an ace?
I do have an ace. I'm just deciding whether or not to play it high. I think I will not play it high.
Okay, I have an ace, which I'm going to play high. So that's going to be an ace of spades. So my grey shield is going to move 4 spaces because that's his move rate, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And because it's a spade, I haven't checked to see actually. I think I can move and search, but just have a.
Yeah. So in this game, we're counting down through the numbers, and if we have a card to play, we can play that card and activate one of our dwarfs. The suit of the card determines what special actions you can do in addition to the normal basic actions of moving and some of the other things.
Yeah, and so because I've got a spade, I can make a search.
That's a delve, or is that a search?
That's a search. It's a delving test, but it's a search. Actually, I can't move with a search.
Okay.
So I might just leave that as a straight up move. Yep, I'll leave that as a straight up move. And so, have we got any kings?
Yep, I've got a king.
Okay, I've got a king. I've got king of diamonds.
Remind me, it goes clubs, hearts.
It's
spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds.
It's hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades.
Huh?
So that's
what, in ascending?
From top to bottom.
Oh, okay.
So
red's
hearts,
better than black.
Yes,
Faster
red is
than
better.
black.
Heart is best. Spades is worse.
Okay.
Fine. And my weapon thane is going to use that diamond to do a rush. So he gets to move double his move. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. So we'll say the central area is blocked by this treasure. So go 3, 4.
Oh, well, the whole big. Well, we could even use a much larger. Oops.
Sure. Yeah.
There.
So there you go. That'll be the.
No, it's probably blocked.
Okay. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
My lord.
Yeah, it's very aggro, isn't it?
Nice.
I think we'll actually just to there.
Okay.
That should be sufficient. I don't want to get him too ganged up on. Because he's
Hammer
tough.
and a shield chap. Okay.
Yeah, he's tough, but I guess there are limits. But that column will protect him from having more than 2 people on him.
And we test for darkness at the end of the round, so we have to end up with all the dwarfs in light at the end of the movement.
Yes, if you want to avoid any possible being caught in the darkness tests.
That is already a super interesting puzzle because Yeah, because I've only got one light source guy, so I have to be really cautious.
Yeah. Or get your guy to sort of shoot some firebolts around.
Yeah, but I've only got 2 of them.
Yep.
I've only got 2 of them. When you move into a dark room with a brazier, you get a chance to light the brazier before you get stuck in the dark.
If you get up to the brazier and can take a craft test, you've got a chance to light it, yeah.
Right, so we can make it into the bathroom and turn the light off. Time the light on, we don't have to.
Possibly,
Okay,
yes.
so the first person to move, I'm going to have to check this guy. So, remind me, what can I do with the club?
Club is jumping up, or dueling. You can.
Can I request a duel with this guy? Have
You
I got
abs-
line of sight?
I think you've probably got line of sight. I think.
I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference because this is essentially a teleport, and I was going to move to where he was anyway.
Well, a duel is sort of fun because it means that it's those 2 guys fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
So, dual action consists of 3 steps: the challenge, acceptance, and resolution. The activating dwarf may combine duel with a move action, so you can move up to him and then duel him anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Only one duel may be active at any time in the area of play. To issue a challenge, the activating dwarf must not be engaged or knocked down, and there must be enemy dwarfs within line of sight that are not engaged within 8 squares and able to move. So we'll say you
8
sort of
squares.
yeah.
That's a lot of squares.
Yeah, but then to be fair, it's quite close. There's not many places where you can have a clear 8 squares of view anyway. So I think it's just like if you can find line of sight, you can challenge.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it also means that it's difficult to pick out one person possibly for challenge
unless they trundle forward, offering
Yes.
themselves.
So you've offered your challenge. Engaged enemy dwarf in line of sight.
This is the ancient hall of my family! Get out, you thieving!
So I will accept with my mighty weapon Thane, because he's overly confident in his combat abilities.
Well, mine's a knight of the crown. I think this is going to be a fair fight.
It'll be interesting. So they basically are going to remain engaged until one of them's dead now. And they can't be engaged or attacked by anybody else.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
Okay.
Because that means everybody else can sneak past.
Yes. So they're locked in brutal combat to the death.
Okay.
Lovely. So any other kings?
I do not have another king.
Queens?
Nope.
I've got a queen. And I'm going to use it to move up this clansman 1, 2, 3, 4. So to bathe their noble duel in the warming light of his lantern.
Nice. That means I don't have to.
Well, yeah. And so any jacks?
Nope.
10s?
Nope.
9s?
Nope.
8s?
Nope.
7s?
Yes. So 7 of dueling. So somebody else could duel that.
You can only ever have one
Oh yes,
duel
only
going
one
at a
active
time.
on the board. Yeah.
Everyone's got to watch the duel.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He will meander out there.
Okay, so any 6s?
Yes, a 6 of
Spades.
So we could do a delve instead of moving.
Yes, you could search instead of moving, or you can go defensive. If that's
And the reason for searching is to get some cool treasure for our campaign.
get some more loot. Well, if you find a treasure token, this scenario is about treasure and it will count for VP.
Right, well,
So-
we'll do that then. So I will activate the pistol nerd at the back.
Okay, so you have to pass a delving test, so that's your D stat.
He's fine. He's okay. He's got a delving of 2, so I'm going to roll 2d6.
Okay, so yep, roll 2d6.
And I'm looking for 5s and 6s, right?
Yep, 5s and 6s for successes. So that's a successful delve.
Mhm.
So roll 2d6 to find out what you find.
It's only a 3. That doesn't feel very good.
You find death from above. Resolve a stone block trap on the searching warrior. That is almost certainly a very bad thing.
Ooh, what's this interesting loose brick here on the wall on the entrance that's clearly not a trap? Let me just pull this out. It's probably concealing some trap. Ah!
So let's find the traps rules. Hazard, sinkholes, cave-ins, common traps, stone block trap. Crushed by a great stone isn't the worst way to die, but it's in the top 10. So you have to take a craft test.
Craft of 2.
You have to pass your craft test, so you avoid the danger.
Hooray!
So you have disarmed the trap that you triggered.
Ah, yes. Well, it was pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious trap.
It's right there next to the entrance.
Exactly.
It's a well-lit area.
It was either a letterbox or a trap trigger. I just figured it out in time.
Either or. Okay, any 5s?
Nope.
I've got a 5. So I'm going to activate my shield thing. Just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up his grey shield. Any 4s?
Nope.
3s?
Yep. 3 of delving.
Okay.
You can delve twice.
Each area can only be successfully searched
Successfully, and I successfully found a trap, presumably.
One search has been successfully performed in a room. Yes, you have successfully found something, so no more searching in that area. Also, with the rumbling of traps around, people are probably less inclined to go poking about.
Yep.
Okay.
The crossbow dude has wandered up.
Okay.
He is going to shoot a crossbow into the door there.
Oh, the light thing.
Yeah, just to sort of cover our escape. So
Yep.
I'm going to shoot it into this pillar here.
So you will need to take a range test because
Yep.
I think we'll say it can scatter. It seems like it should be able to sort of go off in another direction, but
Oh, really?
I don't know. It's
It might change where I shoot it.
I think it can scatter if you miss with it.
I'm going to see if it's only 1 square away, so this would be rather embarrassing.
It would be embarrassing if you missed.
Okie dokie, so ranged is that column.
It's the second number of your martial skill.
Ah, right, okay. So 3 dice for the engineer. Shot counts as a torch, may target square.
Yeah, I probably wrote down all the rules on the sheet. So you've hit.
Lovely.
So there's a little torch in that square now.
I'm going to find a little torch object.
Okay. While you're doing that, have you got any 2s?
Yes,
Okay,
I do.
I've got a 2.
Right,
There you go.
so I'll mark the little torch bolt with that little character, but it doesn't take up the square, so
No.
we'll have to worry about that.
And
later.
and you can pick it up if you want to. So
Really?
yeah, you've essentially got like 3 lights, but 2 of them have got like options and choices. So you've sort of fired a flaming into the wall, and someone could go up and go yoink.
And will it? Oh, somebody else can nick it. Okay, will
theory.
it burn out?
When the fuel goes down, it might burn out.
Okay. Yes, I have
it
a
won't,
2.
It won't of its own accord.
I've
Okay,
got a
so
nice high
hearts go first.
The lantern carrying chap will just step out here, covering our.
Okay.
Controlling the central treasure is within 2 squares.
Within 2 squares.
So it's basically up to our entrance point there, because this square is obscured, so it's these ones
Yeah,
here.
it's sort of anywhere within the big central room, I should think.
Let's say anywhere within the big central room, because I think it should
Yeah.
be more centered.
It's meant to be 2 squares.
Yeah, it should be more centered than it actually is, because I think
Do that.
put this
Sure.
slightly lopsided.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to activate my Siege Thane, who very much thinks that delving is the thing to do, despite having seen what a bad idea it
No,
is.
good lad.
I would have expected the Siege Thane to have a slightly better delve. He's only got delve of 2. There's more engineering, but never mind. So he's not successfully delved.
And there was more ones than
There was
successes.
as many one. Well, it's as many ones as anything else to be a fumble. It's not than successes.
Oh, you have to roll majority ones.
yes, to fumble.
Got it.
So that's the delving phase. There's no monsters for a monster phase. There is a fight phase.
Yeah.
So
What am I rocking here? The Knight of the Crown with 5 combat dice.
So roll a d6 equal to warrior's martial skill. So that's 6 in my case.
5 and 9. I am going to dual wield pick and shield. I'm not going to double hand the pick.
I'm going to double hand my weapon. So you've got a double-handed maul, right?
I've got a war pick.
So if you're single-handing the maul, the war
So it's
pick,
-1 attack if I single hand it.
yeah. So you lose one of your dice if you're single-handing it.
I see. But if I don't hold my shield, then
You don't get the benefit of your shield if I do hit you.
which is what?
It would
One
give you
armor.
a roll, a roll to save.
Oh yeah, which I wouldn't get without it.
Is the main thing that the shield does.
Do we go full aggro? Yeah, we might have to go full aggro. All right, double handing the pick.
Okay.
Oh dear.
One success, but that's more than you. So the difference, I score 1 hit. So we check my strength. So I am strength 6. And my warhammer gets to choose the knockback phase.
And doesn't my plate mail?
Oh yeah, you've got resilience of 3, right? Oh okay. Because he's the knight, so he's like extra resilient.
So that subtracts from your strength, and that's the number of dice that you need to do to cause an injury.
Yep.
You just need to get 1 of success.
No, so no successes from the.
So it's just a pushback, but because we're in a duel, I come straight back in, and we essentially don't move me.
Yeah, so they've sort of
You
run up against each other's sort of brutal solidity. Skill, irresistible force meets immovable object.
Exactly. That was close though. That could have ended badly.
So, and then we're into the event phase.
So someone, because you're the first player, you flip a card?
So we would end engagement. The only engagement we've got is a duel, which cannot end. You can choose to run away if you'd like to.
There can be only one.
We check objectives, which isn't going to be relevant here. We check light sources. We're fine because there's plenty of fuel. Now there's no event on the first turn of this scenario.
Righto.
And then we count the turn counter up 1 and burn down the fuel meter 1, and you become the fated Johnny. I have sleeved that card.
I have also sheathed this card.
Yes.
Sleeved, sheathed.
I think it's sheathed, but either way, you can keep 1 card if you've got a leader from 1 turn to the next.
And that just counts as my first card. So 2, 3, 4, 5 for all the dwarfs I've got, 1 for having a leader in play.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay. So. Any aces?
Yes.
Yes, at least 1. So I've got an ace of hearts.
At least 1, he says.
And I'm going to use that ace of hearts to have my grey shield trigger rage. Fury. So he gets +1 move and will have +1 weapon skill, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and engage that clansman.
Okay, so they are engaged.
They're going to be engaged.
So one of my guys can come and help out that engagement.
He can
but then
do.
you could peel that guy off by bringing a second guy in.
I could do.
Okay.
Potentially.
So I've got an ace of
diamonds. So that goes
Diamond.
next.
I am going to move my remind me, diamonds is sprinting?
Diamonds is rushing, yes.
Rushing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he's going to rush into this treasure room here.
Okay.
So he's going to go 1, 2, 3.
So you can't go diagonally through like an engagement.
Sure.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Kick the door open for 6, 7, 8 so that he's standing next to the brazier to light it. I can't remember whether we can light braziers diagonally, but whatever. He's got the movement for
You
that.
can't rush and light a brazier.
Oh no, that's true. That's true.
Rushing is like
yes,
a sort of headlong rush.
Yeah, that's my.
Do you grab an open door?
Of course.
I think that's the representative.
Of course. There we go. Open door.
Okay. So, any kings?
Nope.
Any queens?
Yes. If this guy's lost in the dark, how likely is he to totally die?
We've never done a Lost in the Dark test, so...
How exciting. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You'd have to roll like double ones to be just off. It's a 2d6.
Alright, so here's a question. I would like to move this guy to that square there, which I think is unobstructed, and shoot a fire into that square. Would you say that is permissible?
It is, but light goes in a dead straight line through doors.
Oh right, so I should have ended there.
So if you ended there,
Then we're cool.
yeah, I think we'll be all right with that.
Alright, so that's what he's going to try. He's going to... no, he can't, because he can't move through that square because of the
He
engagement.
can. So this is one of the two sort of significant rules we missed out last time.
Right.
Once you're engaged, you lose your engagement range.
Interesting.
So now that my guy is locked in combat, you can move past him.
Okay, that's beautiful, because that means engagement ranges are an exciting area of effect,
Yes.
and you can disable them by engaging them.
Absolutely. And so if you get in there first and
1,
things.
2, 3. He's going to shoot, but he's moved 3. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I have to move 3 squares because I can't move diagonally across that guy. So he's shooting, but he's moved. So do I lose some shoot?
He's got an arrow blast, doesn't he?
He does have an arrow blast.
Which I think need reloading between firings. Sorry. Yeah, arrow blasts are loaded and cumbersome, so you have to spend a turn reloading it to fire it again.
Not moving at all.
So you can move, but then you have to take a test to reload. If you just stand still, it's an auto reload.
Bother, I wish I had more lanterns. Okay, I'm going to auto reload because I can't go around without lanterns.
Okay, so he has reloaded.
Yep.
So, Jax.
This is going to end poorly for my leader. He's just going to get whizzed off the board first turn.
I'm
I've got a nasty feeling about
I'm
this.
sure he'll be fine.
I'm sure.
Jax? No Jax. Okay.
I've got a rushing jack.
Russian Jack.
Mm-hmm. Now, this chap that's pinned here,
Mm-hmm.
can he move within your engagement range? Or is he just stuffed now?
So you can attempt to leave the combat zone with an evade.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. I'm going to use this to... I mean, it's interesting here because I think I'm just going to use it to pass with that guy.
Sure.
I think that's what I'll do.
Okay. Jack's 10s.
No.
9s.
Nope.
I've got a 9. Shall I risk him going into the dark room on his own, like you did with your leader?
What's the worst that can happen?
Death. Unpleasant
Instance.
death. Instant
undefendable
unpleasant
death.
Yeah, instant undefendable and unpleasant death. It's what it is. It's what is the worst thing ever. 2, 3, 4. So for now, he's going to pretty happy with the engagements there. He's going to move over to this doorway.
He's not lit there yet, but you haven't moved.
No, I haven't moved
Right.
my clansman with torch, and I think he can reach over to
Okay.
bathe him in light. 8s.
Yes, an 8 of hearts, which is a fury, right?
Which is fury, yes.
So he will activate furiously, but not move.
Splendid. 7s.
No.
I've got a 7, so my clansman is going to furiously go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got a lantern for this poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
6s.
Who's lighting up that poor guy? No
Well,
one.
a lantern covers the room that you're in. It needs to go in a straight line through doors, but this whole room is lit because there's a lantern in it, or a torch in it.
And my one.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting. Okay.
But I figure because he's sort of off on the corridor. I reckon he wants to be
Okay, so it's
covered.
room by room.
Yeah, room and then like straight lines down corridors.
Okay, so this guy is currently lit by that lantern.
He is, yeah.
Okay.
Where were we? 6s?
No.
5s?
No.
4s?
Coming in
Engaging.
support. Yep.
Okay. And 3s. He's gonna continue to fertle about in. Actually, no, because he's arguably in darkness there.
No, he's holding a lantern.
Oh, he's got his own lantern, of course.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has. Yeah, he's
His own
fine.
treasure finding wonder boy.
Yay!
Success.
A
So now you 2d6 for what you find.
Yes, I do. Hi, dearly.
Oh!
Okay, that's very
sneak
high.
eyes.
He has found trouble.
So it's probably a trap like my 3, but it might be worse.
I think it's
It's a monster. It's a monster. It's a monster. Wandering monster. He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Wow. He's dead.
He really found trouble.
Good lord. So he's just whisked off into the night.
Yep. He found something very unpleasant when he was searching.
I like to think, at this point, that they left him at the top of the staircase to the outside world. And he was protecting their way in. They all came in, and they were like, where's Jeremy? But Jeremy just slipped on the top stair and bounced all the way down the stone staircase into the hold and just left himself in a crumpled, broken mess at the bottom.
You do not want to roll low on your search test.
All right, well, I was worried about my leader in darkness. But,
Crikey. Okay. So still no monsters at the moment. So fight phase.
and that's because none were deployed, and we haven't had an event that summoned any.
Yes.
Okay.
So this one has darkness issues, but less immediate monster issues.
Okay, so
Oh.
fight fate. Oh wait.
I've got 2 of diamonds. I've not activated somebody. Oh, the guy in the
you've not
duel.
activated.
The other guy in the-
Have you got either a card? Have you got a fury card in your?
I don't. That's what I'm sleeping. Okay, so combat. Where do you want to go first?
Let's do the duel.
Okay.
I'm two-handing. Oh, I've got one.
I've got 1, so we keep rolling until. Yeah, no, you've got not got. Neither of us have got a sword.
Oh no!
2 successes.
No successes.
So on to the wounding against your mighty resilience.
So you've got 6 minus my resilience of 2. The 4.
4.
4. Sorry. The result is 2 dice.
That is a successful wounding.
Bums.
So we will go to the woundiness.
Is the woundiness not on the quick reference chart?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that feels like it. Feels like it would be.
Resolve hits. So draw a card and resolve the injury.
I have to draw a card,
You
and
do.
I'm going to ignore heart results because of my full plate. It's not a heart, it's a 5 of clubs.
So 5 is a flesh wound. You take 1 damage, so your resilience goes down by 1. Okay, and then over there.
Yeah, so I'm furious, which gives me 1 extra dice. Is that right?
Yes, I'm also furious. And you are supporting, which gives you an additional extra dice. So whoever's attacking, basically. Well, if the clansman's attacking, you get 2 extra dice.
Of course, no,
Because he's the furious one, right?
Yeah, and he's also the one with the 2-handed spear.
Where he's got a spear, yeah.
Yeah, he wins draws by 1.
So do I, so they're going to cancel each other out.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with my big sword double-handed.
Oh, I've rolled some successes finally.
I've rolled some successes also, and because we're both riposting, that's a draw.
Okay, let's try again. 1.
3.
Ah!
So you were double-handing your spear, so you don't have your shield. What's your resilience?
Resilience of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2.
2? Really?
Apparently so.
I didn't give him mail then.
No, he's got a hard coat. Which...
Okay. So 4 dice, because I've got the strength of 6.
That's a
So
success.
2 successes. So
But
flip a card.
Only one was needed, right? The second one doesn't do anything.
No, that's the other big rule we forgot last time. The second one shifts the wound up a category on the table.
A category.
So they're like in categories for the card. So
if I flip a 10...
6 to 8, it would count as a 9 to 10.
Okay, so I flipped a 2, but it can't be a 2 because it gets bumped up to
So
a
it's
4.
a flesh wound. So 4 to 5, so you take 1 damage.
Boo. And am I pushed back?
There's nowhere for you to be pushed back to.
There is this annoying square that's only got a invisible torch.
Okay, yeah, so you get pushed back into that
You
into
can
the
choose
torch.
to push me back, can you?
No, you do. You get automatically pushed back. I can choose to follow you up, and I think I will follow you up.
And what happens to the chap who is engaged with you?
Everyone gets disengaged at the end of the turn.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so you follow up where you want to.
Yeah, so I'll go over to there, let's say.
I'll just tuck that in there.
Okay, and then it's the event phase. We end engagements. Does anyone want to turn back? I don't.
Not yet.
Objectives.
I mean, I sort of want to, but not yet.
So the fuel hasn't run out yet. So you flip a card for the event.
It's an 8. Sorry, it's a 9 of spades.
So 9 of spades is 3 orcs. On the monster entrance closest to your guys because you are the fated one. Pile in here where your leader is.
Well, Grim rule. I'll put one there.
Oh, that's our treasure.
So it's the downside of being the chosen one. You get targeted by events and things. And
Are the orcs carrying lanterns? Let's hope they are.
no, they are not, and we should have
That's
done.
it.
We should do You're Alone in the Dark before the event anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, that conga line of orcs might come out in another direction then.
Yeah. So it should have been at the start of the monster phase. Roll 2d6.
Well, rolling 2d6 has been going brilliant.
Oh,
for
yeah,
us
no,
so far. It's a 6.
It is a 6, so it's quiet. Too quiet. Nothing happens to him for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Except for some orcs turn up.
Oh yeah,
It's
so
menace.
orcs turn up to cause him issues.
Turn 3.
Turn 3, fuel 2,
Yup.
and so now I draw 2, 3, 4 cards because I'm one guy down.
Does the turn counter do anything?
The game ends on turn 6 in the event that the torches haven't burnt out and you've bailed because.
So yeah, it seems weird. Like it seems like it doesn't need a turn counter because it's got the torch.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that it's got the torch mechanic because it means that there's a emergent reason to not get to the end of the turn counter, which I always think is much cooler. But I do understand the thing of being like, okay, look, in the event that torches are still burning, after 6 turns, we call it so it just doesn't go on indefinitely.
Because you could just change the burning out mechanic so that it always burns out. Anyway,
it's and also because you can just keep going even if all your torches are out if you're feeling feisty enough.
Right.
So draw your cards, sir.
I'm not going to sheath this. So do I just tuck it away?
You just dump it and then you draw up to 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dwarfs and a leader.
Mm-hmm. Any aces?
Nope.
I'm going to. So this clansman is going to move to there.
Yep.
And I've got a spear. I might do a spear poke since we've not done that yet either. My clansman has a martial skill of 4, so just the 2 dice.
Poked with a pointed stick.
Pointy stick poking. No successes. So you dodged my wild spear thrust. Okay. Kings.
No.
Queens.
Yes.
Angry queen.
So I'm a touch worried about Bossman because he can't light the brazier presumably because he's A, not orthogonally next to it, and B, got an orc breathing down his neck.
Yeah, I shouldn't think you can do crafts whilst orcs are doing their fighty stabbiness.
So I think he'll probably fury
Okay.
so that he can. He can probably deal with this orc without using fury. Actually, I might use fury on the spear poking man.
Okay,
So
because the orc's next to you, he will ensnare you in his action, so it'll reduce your martial skill if that's of interest.
It is of interest, yeah, for sure. My martial skill is 5. I don't remember the orcs being a terrible problem, so I'm going to. Your guy is a stronger enemy, so I'm going to use the fury on the spear poking man.
Okie dokie. So Jax.
Oh, and sorry, and he will engage your
yeah.
wibbly sword guy.
Yes.
The flamberge wielder.
The flamber, indeed. Jax.
Yup.
Okay.
That's the fury from the leader.
Okay. 10s.
Yes.
I also have 10-inch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I tell you what though, I have a 10, but I'm not going to use it.
Oh,
So
it's going to pretend you don't have a 10.
I don't. Let's say I don't have a 10.
Okay.
So your 10.
My 10 will be shooting
Mm-hmm.
with the gun thane at
Yep.
the lantern wielding spear poking man.
Okay. And is he going to use his shoot to wound?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Slow and steady wins the race.
So the
Bang!
yes, 1 wound on my little clansman.
You can have a red dice if you like.
Okay, red dice is nice for wounds. Thank you. Any 9s?
No.
Any 8s?
No.
I have an 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to use it to have my shield thane run over and engage your cowardly gunsmith
Oh, I'm glad I shot when I did.
by rushing.
Okay.
Filthy, filthy gunsmith. 7s?
No.
6s?
Yes. I've got a furious 6.
A lot of fury.
Yeah. I will furiously engage the chap who just engaged my gunsmith. So
Okay.
the engineer will furiously engage the gunsmith.
Okie dokie.
Whatever that guy's. Greybeard? Pointy helmet guy.
Yes, that's my shield thing.
Shield.
I'm going to 6 on the guy in the duel.
Okay, so
So-
no specific effect.
No, 5.
Yeah, I've got a 5 of rushing around.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so that guy will 5.
Okay.
No effect.
4.
I'm out.
Okay, so 2 of fury on my grey shield.
Okay. Yes, man.
So, monster phase. We have a monster phase.
Yeah.
So roll 2 dice for your shrouded leader.
Okay, 2 dice for the leader that's in the dark. Oh dear, that does not look like a good result.
Curses! The warrior has entered a sinkhole hazard. The model that enters the sinkhole will immediately begin sinking and is stuck. Next time the model activates, it must pass a strength test to leave the sinkhole space. Adjacent friendly models can help. They're not engaged. If failed, the model can do nothing. The following turn, the model requires 2 successes. On the third turn, the model's 3. If the third is failed, the model is gone. Models
she's
in a
got-
sinkhole
She's
fight
got
at
3 attempts to escape the sinkhole.
yes, and he fights at -1 martial skill
Of course he does, because he's in a hole.
because he's sinking into a nasty, nasty hole.
Oh my goodness, 2d6s.
Avoid the 2d6.
Oh, we haven't rolled over a 6 yet.
Yes. Okay. So monsters. So the guy who's engaged will snare you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're at -1 weapon skill. He'll try to snare you.
he's got to try, right?
He's got to at least tempt it. So, agility test. So, 2 dice. Nope, he fails to snare you. The other guys will rush if they can see a warrior.
They can, but he's engaged.
that isn't a problem to them, but you disengage with people when monsters engage you. I don't know if the monsters...
They're in a duel.
I'm just seeing if the monsters respect the martial nobility of the duel. Yep, the duel will end if you get engaged by a monster. So the other guy will nobly step back. Fewest monsters in line of sight.
Will you just excuse me? I've got to deal with this all. Oh no, go ahead. Be my guest.
Well, because they go for the people who engage with the fewest people, it means that this guy will go here.
And then the other orc will join me.
And the other orc will engage
you. You go ahead. I've got my own orc to deal with.
So
perfect. All right.
There
good.
You go. They have ended the duel in order to deal with these orcs that they've got going on.
Yeah.
Okay, and fight phase. I will largely, I think, probably go like right to left. So we'll start with your leader against this dark dweller.
Okay, my leader has got martial skill of 4. He's got martial skill of 5, but he is snared. No, he's not snared. He's just in a hole.
He's sinking in a sinkhole.
Oh wow! 3 successes.
Not 3 successes.
None successes.
So he's got a resilience of 1. So you roll your...
I've got a strength of 3.
So -1 to your...
No, 6. 5. 6. 6 minus 2 is 4.
He's got a resilience of 1. So
6 minus 5 dice. That's 2 successes.
Yep. So that's that orc squashed.
Yay! Put his head on my trophy wall.
Okay, so we'll go to my guy fighting. So if you want to roll 4 dice for the orc I'm up against.
Orc's rolled 2 successes.
I roll 1 success.
Orc's gonna swing his axe at you.
So he's gonna roll 1 dice to try and wound me because I'm resilience 3.
It's not a success.
Okay, and then orc fighting your dude there.
My dude there, what's he got? War pick knight 5. He's not snared. He's going to double hand it.
I've got 1 success.
I've got 2.
Okay, so you'll roll your strength -1 for his resilience.
Which is 5. 2 successes.
That's that orc knocked off.
Nice.
And then we will go, let's say, over here.
Do they drop any treasure, these orcs?
No, the treasure.
Paupers.
The orcs are coming in here for their
same
own
treasure.
treasure searching purposes. So my grey shield is going to go against your clansman.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rolling 5 dice. I'm going to go 2-handed with my big sword.
But he's not supported. 1 success.
2 successes. I have a strength of 6. You've
I've got resilience 2.
Okay. Did he take a wound before?
Resilience 1, yes.
Okay.
So you add another dice in.
1 success, so flip a card.
It's a queen of
I'm
clubs.
thinking he's dead in one flavour or another. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh dear.
Cleft in twain by my enormous sword.
Alright, 1 each.
Yep. And then over here.
Mm-hmm.
So
I get to choose which of my 2 dudes will swing, right?
yes, the engineer is the one who went furious.
Yes. Who's the more resilient? Engineers to the gun. So we'll go with the gun thane because he's slightly better,
Okay.
even though he didn't go furious.
I'm using my great shield.
Oh wait, he doesn't have a melee weapon. That's okay, neither does the engineer. 1.
2.
Poop.
So I'm
Resilience 3.
on strength of 5, but I ignore your mail, which puts you to strength resilience of 2 because I'm using a pick.
Oh yeah.
They all have natural resilience of 2. I just gave most of them mail coat, which my pick ignores. So 1. So flip a card.
It's only a 4.
So I think that's flesh wound takes 1 damage.
Cool.
That's it for combat.
Cool.
Okay, so we did the Alone in the Dark check. Technically end engagements. People can run away if they want to.
Event flipping?
Yeah, will do. Fuel counter burns down. Event flipping is, in this case, a 7.
7 of clubs.
Which is Swarm. Place Swarm monsters on monster entrances. So 4 goblins, if you please.
Oh, the crushing embarrassment, an unpainted goblin.
Gribbly goblins.
Probably can't see it on the video, but these are some lovely Kev Adams goblins sold by Foundry.
Lovely
So
metal.
they're very old 90s stylings, but still being made, and you can still buy them.
It's lovely metal goodness.
Yes.
Turn counter counts up, and new turn. So
Okay,
you're drawing.
Dumping that one.
I'm going to keep that. Don't forget that you're drawing
2,
5
3,
now.
4 dwarfs plus my leader. Getting to the treasure counters is difficult when there's a conga line of greenskins keeps appearing.
Yeah, it's interesting that the treasure here is just sitting there because I've gone. I think I've sort of quite heavily engaged in the central jobbing. Right, I am going to use this black joker as an
ace.
As an ace.
I also have a high ace.
And I'm going to use it as a diamond in this case. And I'm going to use it to barge. So I'm going to go over to here. And I'm going to barge you over to there and then follow up.
And it's automatic.
Yeah, because it's like triggered from the card. So I'll automatically smush you back one. Okay, what are you doing with your ace of spades?
Just a little bit confused about engagement. We all disengaged.
Yeah.
So now everyone has an engagement range.
Yeah.
We won't re-engage until someone activates. But if I was, for example, to activate this guy, he's now in 2 people's engagement range. So the only thing he can do is engage one of those 2 guys or make a
evade to get away. Yeah.
Which is like an agility test.
Yeah.
He would only be able to evade into some... Oh no, they're engaged now, aren't they?
They are.
So I might try evading to there so I can shoot.
Okay.
Agility. I'm going to assume it's an agility test.
You will assume correctly.
1, 2, 3, 4. I've got an agility of 2 brackets 1. Do you remember what the brackets 1 was indicating?
It'll be something to do with your equipment. What you're carrying.
The arbalest, maybe heavy or something.
Oh yes, it is cumbersome. Yep, you've got 1 agility because of your cumbersome siege weapon that you're toting about like a...
Yeah, okay, so that's not a good plan.
Yeah, you can move within an enemy combat zone, so that's fine.
Okay, so he is there and he's going defensive. I think I can deal with that.
I think it's certainly the defensive card. The question is whether you can move and go defensive. Combined with engage. You can move and go defensive.
Alright, he's going defensive. So, any more aces?
Nope, that's it for aces for me.
Kings?
No kings.
Queens?
No queens.
Jacks?
Possibly. Let's have a look. No jacks, I think.
Okay.
I assume, you're engaging this clansman. Aren't
Yes.
you? Okay.
Okay.
Any tens?
Yes, I've got a 10 of barging.
You've got a 10 if you've got a shield. Yep. I've got a 10.
Oh, you have to have a shield.
Yeah, you need a shield to barge.
Okay.
So you've got running around.
So this guy would like to barge back.
Yeah, you can drive me back.
Okay, so we push the scrum back 1 square.
Yep. And then you engage.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to use the 10 to activate my weaponsmith, who's just going to activate his weaponsmithery.
I've got another 10.
Okay, you can do with your 10.
Because this guy's currently in a dark room. Oh no, he's got line of sight to that.
Yeah, he's okay.
I'm going to move out of this room here and engage that guy.
Shield.
Yeah.
Okay. 9.
No.
8.
No.
I will have an 8 to have my Shield Thane, engage your, trigger the Shield Thane. There's not a lot that he's going to do with it special. 7.
That is something that I've noticed happens a fair bit in this game, is that like once the game gets going, about half of your dwarf activations don't really do anything.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world, it's just it feels like a missed opportunity that there's not really a decision, you just activate the dwarf for no effect.
Or actually I can go defensive.
You could go defensive.
But I'm not going to go defensive actually. I fancy myself to cause injuries. 7.
Nope.
6.
Nope.
5.
Nope.
So a 5 for whoever's already engaged.
Yeah.
I've
And my leader is going to do nothing. Does he test for his climbing out of his hole now?
he does, yes, when you activate him, he'll take a strength test.
Strength of 6.
So he should be absolutely fine.
Oh, he's probably not going to get his strength bonus for his weapon. So we'll say
No, I would think not.
Stat of 5. A couple of successes.
So he's climbed out of the hole.
So we ignore the hole from now on. Hole go bye-bye.
Yes, I think basically.
Nice. Climbs out of the hole and he finds the leering face of a goblin greeting him.
Exactly. Okay.
Can I do anything else? I can just engage the goblin. Yeah.
The orc in this case, I think. And then...
No, he's a gobby.
Oh, yeah, you're right, it's just a goblin. Having just climbed out of his sinkhole and still being in the dark, he rolls his... fight phase, then dark check. Oh no, monster phase first, I was right. So danger in the dark check, please.
Rolling a 2d6, nothing gives me greater pleasure. There it is, the double
was there
one.
a minute ago.
Whoop. That's my leader.
Down in the darkness, bad things happen.
Turns out he did not climb out of the hole. That was merely a misreporting.
He was just getting out, and that goblin cut his fingers off, and he fell down into the horrible sinkhole. So, orcs trigger first. So the orc engaging me is going to try and ensnare me. So if you'd like to roll 2 dice for the orc to do said snaring.
Double 6. He is. Why couldn't I roll a double 6 for my leader? He has successfully ensnared you.
Yes, my weaponsmith is ensnared. And then the cretins, which are our swarms. So they will move up to double their movement toward the nearest or in line of sight and engage them.
Okay, so this goblin is going to move and engage my pick chap.
Sure.
This goblin presumably can wander around here.
No, can't move past engaged people, so I think they're basically going to pile into my weaponsmith and support the orc in his combat against him. The foul denizens of the dark are swarming our noble dwarves.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we split these goblins in half so there can be a support there and a support there.
Sure. So that seems reasonable. Okay, so combat, you are the chosen one, so pick your order of...
so we'll go sort of down like this. So we'll start with the orc on your... Yep.
So my weaponsmith is down 1 for having been snared, so it's on 5 dice, and your orc is supported, so he's on 5 dice.
1.
2. So my strength is simply 5. So the orc gets squished, and I can spread these hits around. So I think I get to squish that goblin as well. Because I got more than 1 hit, and they only have like 1 hit each.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to do your guy? So cretins have a martial skill of 1, plus 1 for the support for 4.
5. 2.
1, so roll your strength.
Strength 6 minus goblin is 1, presumably?
0 goblin resilience, so 2
2
hits, so you squish both your goblins.
Hooray.
And then my guy back here had engaged your guy, but he had to disengage because you got engaged with goblins, and he's not that much of a git, so he's disengaged, I think, despite the fact he could have sported here. So which of those do you want to do?
Crossbow first.
So
Engineer's got 3.
Clansman's got 4.
Did someone furied? No, I don't think I did fury.
I don't
No, I
have
didn't
any
fury.
fury.
No, there was no fury.
And he's going double-handed with spear.
I've got 2 successes.
Yeah. No successes. So I'm currently resilience of 2.
Okay, strength 5.
Okay.
No successes.
Good. So I get pushed back.
I'm going to push you to that diagonal square there.
I choose where I get pushed to
what?
unless you've got a hammer.
Right. I will not follow up because missile weapon.
Okay. And so the shield thane combat against the gun thane.
1.
None. So I'm resilience of 3.
Okay, so 2 dice. It's a success.
So I have a save because actually I've got 2 saves because of my great shield.
1
So I
success.
saved it. Okay. So torches
Are out.
are out.
Or the fuel is out anyway.
The fuel is out, so they'll start burning out next turn. And you want to roll flip an event card.
With pleasure. It is a 5 of spades.
Yeah, reduce the fuel counter by 1. So. Okay.
It feels like that should say, and if it has already burned down,
out, take tests.
Take tests. Let's do that. Let's take tests because I want to see how they work.
Okay, well it's just a 1d6 for each torch, I believe. And on a 1 it burns out.
Okay, so I'll go with mine first. So the one that's stuck in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what did you just say the rule was?
I'm pretty sure it's 1 to burn out. I will.
Okay,
I'm
1 to
flicking
burn
through
out.
double check.
That's a 4.
Okay.
The guy with the torch is dead on my side, so that was the only one I had.
Okay. Yeah, torches are a 1 or a 2. So my lanterns. That guy's got a lantern.
Yep.
He's okay. 'Cause it's just a 1 for lanterns. My other lantern guy's dead. So.
Okay, so we have 2 lanterns in the main room still.
Yeah. So new turn. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3 dwarfs, no leader.
Okay. Aces.
Yes!
Okay.
Furious Ace.
Uh-huh.
Furious Ace, we will furiously do that. So on the
Okey-dokey.
wielder.
Any other aces?
Nope.
Kings?
Yes.
Okay. I'm the chosen one, so I get to go first. So my clansman is going to engage your crossbow wielder.
Mm-hmm.
And then your turn.
Crossbow wielder will go defensive.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Any queens?
No, it's all you until very low numbers.
Okay. So my shield thane will engage your gunsmith.
Mm-hmm.
Jacks. Yeah. No jack. My 10 will go on my leader engaged with your guy there.
Mm-hmm.
9 will go on the weaponsmith
Furious.
furiously engaging that guy there.
Okay.
And that's all of mine.
Gunthane Fury. So monsters. So Goblin's going to come and peel that guy off.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he? Little bastard.
Yes, unfortunately you're going to have to furiously deal with him instead.
Yeah, I should have put the fury on the other guy.
Yeah, that was why I engaged that way rather than that way.
Yeah. Okay, fighting then.
Yep, so you pick.
Well, I'll start with my weapon thane against the little gobbo.
Okay.
He's got 3 dice martial skill.
None!
Many.
Many.
Uh,
All of his strength, no resilience. No, he's
No,
fluffed it.
nothing. Shocking.
Couldn't deal with that sneaky dancing goblin.
No. He will knock him over there.
And not follow up.
No, I don't think so.
He probably can't knock him through that diagonal wall.
No, that's a good point. Well, in that case, he falls down because there's no way he can be knocked too.
Yeah, that's right.
He's down. He's down. We'll go there. Mm-hmm. So my grey shield.
Knight with Fury. Was he the one with Fury? He was the one with Fury. Oh, sorry, bit of a mess. 2.
So 2. 1.
Okay, what's your resilience, please?
3.
So I get 3 dice. That is a success. So injury, please.
6 of hearts, but I have hard coat.
I ignore armour, but that's not maybe important here.
No, yeah, so it's just whatever 6 is.
Doesn't seem deadly.
Wounded and knocked down.
Ah, okay.
So knocked over.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a red dice to mark his wounding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and clansman.
Against the engineer. The engineer is defensive, which means he doesn't roll any extra dice, but he can't do any damage.
No, it means you roll 2 extra dice for your martial skill, but you can't do any damage.
3.
1. So.
Okay, so I win, but I don't do any damage because I'm defensive.
Yep.
That's cool.
And then the shield thane against your gunsmith.
He was furious because of that 4. Oh wow, 4. Lucky roll.
2. So you get 2 hits. I've got 2 saves. Yeah, so if I save twice, you don't hit me. I did not save twice, so your attacks. I've got resilience of 3.
2 dice. 1 success. So an
Okay.
injury flip, please.
A 5,
No.
I think, is knocked down with a wound again, isn't it? No, that's just a flesh wound.
Okay.
So, flesh wound on the shield thing.
This is all progress, but it's not fast enough. Because this is the last turn now.
Yes, this is the last turn. 2.
Dwarf.
Okay, I am going to use my martial art to drive back everybody engaged with me.
What?
It's my once per game ability.
What's my once per game ability?
Various things, having access to gunsmiths and all sorts of others, and flaming short torch things and all that sort of stuff.
So this is the you thought you had the objective, ha you don't special ability.
So everybody gets to drive back an enemy.
Yep.
So he's going to drive back to there, and I'm going to follow up. You choose where the gunsmith gets driven back to.
I guess he can only really get driven back to there, can't he?
Okay, and then the crossbowman is going to get driven back. You choose. I think he gets knocked down.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Because he's caught.
What do you need to stand up? Is it a club?
In order to stand up in engagement, you need to do jump up, which is a club. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, any aces?
Ace of jumping up. Whoop.
Okay. Any kings?
Nope.
I'm going to do king of jumping up. And he's going to, let's say, engage the crossbowman.
Mm-hmm.
Queens?
Nope.
Jacks?
Nope.
Jack of hearts. Going to furiously engage that guy there.
Okay.
And Jack of spades. I'm going to engage the gunsmith.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Tens.
No.
10 of hearts. The should have gone furious with engaging the gunsmith. the clansman is going to furiously support engage against the crossbow dude there.
Yeah.
for what it's
Okay.
worth.
Okay, so I've got 2 barges. The first barge is on a 9. I would love to barge that guy with this guy. He's already engaged.
You
so...
need a shield to barge.
Oh no! No, these are the running around ones.
Or
Oh, sorry. You need to be armed with a shield in order to have access to the
Yeah.
barge. Okay, so this guy can
special
barge.
there are 2 suitabilities, one that everyone can do and one that only special people can do. And the secondary ability for Diamond is barge, which you need a shield to do.
Ah, bugger. Well, I think the game's over then.
I mean, currently you are contesting this, so I do need to kill.
Oh, I assumed it was the most, but you're right.
Yeah, contested is contested. So
Okay.
I need to kill off that crossbowman
Alright,
basically.
so I'll barge that guy, and then Gunthane will... So who's he engaged with?
The crossbowman.
Okay, so there's a double engagement there.
Yep.
These guys are currently engaged.
So everyone's engaged.
Yeah, nothing to do. I was just trying to think if there was anything cleverer to do, but I don't see it. Okay, so
I don't. Did we?
we are on turn 6. This is definitely turn 6.
Okay. Right. Well.
So monsters and being caught in the dark. Presumably the goblin jumps up.
You can't jump up in an engagement range. So the goblin, I think,
Just flails on the floor.
he'll crawl away to try and jump up later,
Okay.
which I think is entirely suitable, and you shouldn't be messing with important
Snivelling.
business.
Snivelling goblin.
Right, combats.
I think I'm the...
You're the guy. Where do you want to go first?
Let's start with this furious one.
Okay.
Was it furious? No, it wasn't furious. It wasn't furious.
Yeah, I don't think there was. The only fury I remember is my spearman.
Okay.
Oh, no, I've got
Two-handed war pick.
I've got 2 furies. I think I put the other fury on this guy because he was jumping up.
Yeah.
So 6, 7.
Only 1.
Also only 1.
Roll
so
again.
Keep rolling.
2. Oh!
1. So even with all those dice.
Yeah, that was a lot of dice. Okay, so 2. Strength of 6 versus your resilience
Of 3.
So that's 3 dice to see if I wound you. I get a couple of successes, so you can
Okay.
save a couple of successes. You're double-handing the hand.
I wasn't using my shield.
That's a flesh wound and a knockdown.
That's a deep wound and a knockdown.
Okay, so I'm going to push you. I push you first, don't I?
Yeah.
Does that always happen? That always happens.
Yeah, that always happens.
Deep wound.
Yes, I think actually he's dead because it's 2 wounds and mail doesn't count for your resilience for being wounded.
Nice. Okay. We'll go on the probably going to get stabbed until he's dead. Combat.
We will do our very bestest.
The engineer is not yet wounded.
Okay.
He didn't go defensive. He's got a success.
I've got 2 successes. So
Resilience 2.
4 dice. No successes.
Nothing.
And there's no way I can really push him back to. And then.
Well, can you push him back and you're there so he knocks out?
Yeah, he gets knocked down,
He gets
but
knocked down.
it's not going to make much difference, I don't think.
I don't think it will make any difference, but you know, for completeness' sake.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the gun thane versus the shield thane.
Yep.
Ooh. 1.
None.
1.
None. So
my strength is 5. Your resilience is.
he's currently 2 because he's took a hit.
All right. See if I can get a success. I can. You got a shield.
Shield
so
saves.
None.
Nope.
So take an injury flip.
Jack, I should think that'll be him.
That seems bad.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
So there we go. If that's the last turn,
That's a 0-0.
there are multiple layers of
Oh, yes.
resolution. I think the sudden swing of kills you got there might have taken it for you.
Yeah, that was very lucky at the end. There.
No one lit a brazier. No one has any treasure of any kind. No one controls a central.
Oh no, because neither of us picked anything up. We just rolled on the treasure table, which we've now learned terrible mistake. Never roll on the treasure table.
The crew that suffered the fewest casualties is the winner, so you count as winning because those sudden last two kills in.
Mark it. This is a second battle report on Rule of Carnage. That's a 50% win rate against Glenn. That's it. I'm resetting it here. There's no further back history to our relationship. Totally even victory rate with Glenn. Good. Well, that was so smooth that time. It really the injury and resolution system kind of clicked for me. I know Grimwald said that he'd been fiddling around with that, so I'm interested to see where the fight phase goes.
Yeah, but
the engagement mechanics and the engagement things, super interesting. It really clicked for me that time.
Yeah,
the monsters coming in and messing that up is interesting as well.
Yeah, the fact the monsters sort of pull you off from your engagements and you all sort of agree to step back from each other in a slightly sort of noble fashion is really interesting because they really sort of slow you down and mess things up. It's interesting that we didn't super engage, nabbing those little treasures. I kind of wish that I just literally had my clansman with a torch run over here and try and grab that treasure token.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I think that's my main criticism at this point, is that the scenario sounds fun, but there are neither enough models nor enough turns to truly engage with it, because once engagement range gets going, it's really, really tight and knotty, and there's a lot of tactical interest in how the engagements are panning out. But I managed to blitz my guy out into a corner, fine, but there was a lot of jobs to get done, and we just didn't have the activations for it.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because on the full campaign mode, you can have more dwarves sort of coming in, and each one has a higher allowance. As a one-off, you get 100 points, and I did sort of equip everybody quite sort of chunkily because I had 5. I got 10.
Oh, okay. So this is 100 points for well-armed dudes.
Yeah.
5 well-armed dudes.
Yeah. So you could have had some. There are shortbeards who are basically worse than clansmen. And so if
there are treasure runners.
Yeah, if I'd wanted to, we could have had 2 really well armed guys, 2 moderately armed guys, and 2 or maybe even 3 short beards to do treasure running. And with the full campaign, you could have way more dwarves coming in. I was just doing it standalone.
Yeah, I think if you had 8 dwarfs, for example, there'd be way more space for dashing away. Having said that, though, because engagement is so knotty, it feels. I keep comparing this to Blood Bowl, but it feels in Blood Bowl you've either got very, very agile players who can escape the pack almost instantly and run for touchdown, or you have a cage and it pushes its way. And it sort of feels the same here, where it's I either want some really good agility guys so that I can escape from combat. Doesn't really matter how many dwarfs you kind of send to frustrate me with engagement zones. I can hop through them, or I'm going to need to pick a serious treasure goal and then kind of cage my way towards it.
And it's interesting because I think that there's at least implications in this book that at some point there's an intention for people other than dwarves to be available. That other men might be considered sort of going delving in things.
Right.
And obviously, given these are all dwarves, there's a pretty low ceiling on how agile they get.
Right.
Agility 3, you're doing really well for the agility. And I'd be interested if there are later clans who live in the cities of men so often they bring down a few rogues. Whoever.
True. I guess the alternative would be if I can buy a net for a guy, and then a couple of my guys are netters, and that means that my runners can get out. The other thing is, I'd love to know how many lanterns I'm allowed, because having lanterns seems kind of important.
Everybody can have a lantern, but it takes a hand. So you lose your 2-handed weapon or your shield and 1-handed weapon. So you could give everybody lanterns.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if a well lit, highly defensive crew is enough of a like sticking block that you can get one or two guys out to do the jobs and the rest are sort of hanging in the middle.
It's tricky because
it's tricky in a game like this. Like taking activations off people is so important.
Yeah, but I do think the light mechanic is interesting, and it's super interesting that basically your guy who dared to step into the darkness then just got clogged and killed by the darkness, and that was your leader. Rolling low on the sort of random event tables is nasty. Obviously, my guy at the back who searched and then got eaten.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like my leader that died in the dark was the only one that tried to engage with the scenario beyond the central objective. Like, I think your tactic was perfectly excellent to like come forward and gun me up and kind of pin me against my back wall, and that meant that you had all of the objective kind of already pushed over the halfway line.
Yeah, I put all of my eggs into the basket of claiming the central objective, and then
it was just unlucky on the final.
Yeah, the final turn you got good dice and I got bad dice.
I think the shove thing is super fun when it comes to an objective. Like, I would love more objective games to have that, like, I can shove you off, I can scrum back. Like, it's super interesting.
Yeah, the barging, the knockback, the fact that because
normally like, you know, in a game like 40k, like, you swarm an objective and then you're like, okay, great, so I have to kill you off that objective, but I can't like scrum you off the objective. It's just it's more interesting
because the Iron Thanes have a couple of abilities. One is that you pick a martial school, and there are 3 martial schools. And one of them is once per game, shove everybody, and the others are other stuff that just isn't as interesting as once per game, shove everybody. And they also have an ability where if you've got 3 shield carrying Iron Thanes next to each other, they can't be driven back because of their shield wall. So
which in this situation would have been amazing.
Oh yeah. So, but then it turns out connecting together 3 guys with shields is actually quite tricky. So I think if you had a more open scenario and you got them like chunked up and had a proper rolling cage, you could do that. But I think there are lots of broken columns in the scenarios, I think, because they're aware that that's a thing that can come up. But yeah, my biggest regret is not having that clansman just run in here and pick up that treasure token and just go, okay, here's a VP that will overrule, like, you know, all the kills and everything.
Yeah, although it would have made it that much easier for me to get that 3rd guy in, and you'd have had 1 fewer guys. So
it's tricky. I mean, ultimately, you know, I failed on what I was going for because of really bad dice in the last round.
I mean, I think that was it. Like, neither of us played a particularly bad strategy here, although mine was a little reactive given how aggressive you were on the first turn. And then I think that the dice really sort of made the game happen, which is fine. You know, that's why we play these kinds of games.
And I think also if you had sent your torch-wielding dwarf off instead of your leader into the little dark room, I think that would have made a significant difference. Because all your
and I think if I'd have had my time again, I would have gone off to this room. I was worried about the monsters, and it was worth less victory points. But you know, I could have stuck the torch bolt into the wall here and have been fine for the whole game.
Yeah, and obviously all the leader needed to do was survive, and he would have controlled that treasure chest.
I didn't need to get the treasure back.
You get 4 points for getting it back to your entry zone, 2 points for controlling it.
Plus I was trying to light the brazier, which would have been another 2 points.
Yeah, but if the guy, it would have been 1 point for the brazier, but if the guy in there had a torch, he would have survived, and he would have been stood there next to the treasure chest going...
Yeah, and actually, in that situation, oddly enough, as long as you can weather the attacks of a couple of friendly greenskins, like, you're actually well protected there, because somebody else has to fight through a like conga line of goblins to get to you.
I think if that had been your lowly clansman with a torch instead of your mighty leader
with spears, it would have been great.
I think he would have been okay, because the orcs aren't all that to take down.
No, exactly.
I think if he just stood in the doorway there with his torch, that would have claimed some points. But that's good. It's, you know, it's like learning and figuring things out. I think the scenario, you know, works. I think I still really like the system. I think it's really smooth and fun.
Yeah, had a lot of fun with that. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching another Battle Reports from Rule of Carnage. Hope this one was a bit smoother. And we will continue to make these battle reports. We'll probably play some games that we either have noticed that got interesting mechanics, or if you're over in the Discord community and hanging out with us in Discord and are writing an interesting game that's destined for publication, then just like Torch and Shield, we will probably give it a go and video it.
Yeah.
Please let us know in the comments what didn't work out so well about this battle reports technically, because I'm interested in feedback and I want to make these videos better. But other than that, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.